Hey girlies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to go from this to that. If you're new here, that's fine because I'm new here too, girl. First, we're going to start with the brows using NYX brow gel. If you don't have any brow gel, you can always use a hair gel. Me personally, I like to use Eco if I don't have any. Just make sure it doesn't leave any like white residue. Next, we're going to use a concealer to carve them out to make them more defined. This step is completely optional, but for me, I like more of a defined brow, so that's what we're going to go with. In my opinion, I just feel like if the brows aren't carved, it just gives an unfinished look, but that's just me. You like what you like, I like what I like, and that's okay. But to do that, you're going to use a small flat angled brush and just line your natural brow line. Once you're finished with that, you want to bring the concealer down to your lid to start prepping for your eyeshadow. You can either use an eyeshadow primer or a concealer. Me personally, I just use concealer because it's what I already have. If you're not doing any eyeshadow, you can skip this step. Once that's finished, you want to set the lid with a setting powder so the concealer doesn't crease and your eyeshadow stays in place. I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is one of my favorite translucent powders known to man. Like, if you know, you know. Next, we're going in with Kylie Cosmetics Classic Matte Eyeshadow Palette. I'm just going to use the shade Nude all over the lid since I'm going for more of a natural everyday look. This is pretty self-explanatory, so I'll just let you watch. Now it's time for the base, my favorite part. We're gonna start with e.l.f.'s Power Grip Primer. My tube is literally almost gone, so as you can see, this is one of my favorite primers. Always make sure your primer dries down before applying your foundation. You don't want it to mix, causing it to create patches and whatnot. So for the base, we're gonna use Makeup Forever's HD Skin Hydro Glow. This is actually one of my top foundations that I use. Do y'all see that color match? Like, what? Anywho, I'm gonna use Real Techniques makeup sponge to blend everything out. Then I'm just gonna do the same thing I did in the beginning, but on top of the brow instead. I'm gonna use foundation. You can use foundation under the brow too, but I use concealer for the sole purpose of brightening under the brow. We're gonna blend any harsh lines in between the brows and just gonna blend the rest of the forehead in with the leftover product that's in the sponge. You don't want to add any more product because then it'll just start to get cakey, and we don't want that. Here we're gonna go in with LYS bronzer stick to contour the face a little bit. Y'all, this bronzer is the truth, okay? Normally I go in with my darker shade to contour, but since this is a more of a natural look, we're gonna do the lighter shade. To blend, we're gonna use L'Oreal's A58 contour blending brush. You want to make sure that's all blended in, that way you won't have much to fix later on. Now we're going to contour the nose. You also want to make sure that you bring it up into the brow, that way it gives more of a natural look. We want this to look as natural as possible, you know? Now Patrick, you ain't have to snap like that with these blush duos. Like, is this not the prettiest blush you've ever seen? Come on now. Yo, I just recently got hip to Haus Labs concealer and foundation. Let me tell y'all, 10 out of 10. I mean, it wasn't that recent, but it was a few months ago. But anyways, this concealer is like butter. She just blends so easily and gives off the perfect finish. But we're going to use that to highlight all the points of the face. I'm going to use a fan to dry that down just so I can have more of a coverage. Like I said, do y'all see how good that blends? Amazing. Again, we're just going to go in with that same beauty blender and blend everything out. Make sure there's no harsh lines. We did kind of lose that blush a little bit, so we're just going to go back in with that same brush with the leftover product and gently tap the remaining product on there. After everything is blended in, we're going to use Huda Beauty's Easy Bake Loose powder to set the face. You're going to want to apply this to any area you applied the concealer. That way you won't have any creasing throughout the day. I also like to apply it on my smile lines. That way I won't have any creases in that area. I did kind of bake a little, so we're going to wipe off the excess powder with a setting brush, but also gently tap it in. Now this right here is an OG. If you know, you know. This is Benefit's Fouroscope palette. Unfortunately, this was a limited edition drop, so it is discontinued. However, I'm sure you can still buy the products individually. So here we're just going back in to set the products. Now it's time for the star of the show. This is Dior's Dior Show Over Volume Mascara. I am not a mascara type girly. Like, do y'all see the difference? Like, are we seeing the same exact thing? If you know me, you know I am a die-hard lash strip type girl. Next, we're gonna go in with Tarte's Double Take Liner. This will forever be my go-to liner because instead of buying two different products, you literally have one side gel and one side liquid. Next up, we have Rhode Lip Liner. Haley, I don't know what you put in this, but it's amazing. First off, I literally take this everywhere I go. I will say that little cap at the end be giving me a run for my money, but that's okay. NYX Butter Gloss, you're up next, babe. These butter glosses are so good if you want to do an ombre glossy look. Last but not least, we're going to finish off strong with the One Size Powder Milk setting spray to lock everything in, and there you have it. A soft glam done by yours truly. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.